Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, we solved one of the error in our console, so I hope it's very much clear to you. Now in this video, we'll solve our another issues. Before I have already added one of the input field, right? And with this input field, we change all that our value, right? So now I want to do better. First of all, I want to add some of the input field in here. Okay, so that means in our all that object and individually all that our object data. Now one by one I want to update. Better I want to do that is our book list. So into the book list component, before you can see that is one of the input. There's a type as a this, and then that I have created another method, right? Now I want to do and to take it, I simply cut it from to this position. Okay, I simply cut it, and right now we don't need this. We don't need this button, so I simply remove it. I make it as a clean, and now in our book, after that, okay, after that I simply paste it. And here I want to right now we have to pass all that our props method, right? And also better I want to do and to pass on the value. So our value will be our name. That means I want to update our book name. So here I want to display our props name. So that will be our value. Okay. So now with this props, I want to access our book name. Great. And now also we have to update our method, because that is the method right now we have to pass it from our map, right? So from to the map here we have to pass it. So I want to do better, I'll name it. I name as a that will be one of the props data, because here we have to create this method in our book list page. So I name that as a props, and I name it as a input name. Okay, input name. So this type of one of the property now we have to declare it in our book list. If you go to that book list, and here that is our map. Okay, so from to this position now I want to do and to pass our ID, that is one of the property name as an input name, right? So here I name, so with this that is our input name. So input name will be our method. I have already created this method. Our method name, you can see that is an input, that is a change input, right? So now I want to copy it, and here I want to access it. So you can also declare one of the array function in here, because we have to pass all that our event data, right? So now I want to create one of the array function. So that is our array function. So if you want to access this method, then we have to use it with the this, and then our method name as a change input method, right? I simply loaded our method in here. Great. So that is our change input method, and if you go, you can see that is our change input method. Perfect. And also there have some of the error, because that will be as is equal to, right? So that is on the property name as the input name, and here I pass our method, and into this book list I simply take this data with these props, and then our property name as the input name. Okay friend, great. And now we have to do that is our method name as a change input, right? So into this area there is one of the event. You can see before I have already passed on the parameter as an event. So now also we have to pass this event in our map, right? So into this map area, that is our total book, and here that is our property. So into this property area I want to pass this event, and also into this method here I pass this event. Right, and also here we have to I want to make it as individually. So here whatever the things will be typed, then that will be loaded in here. For this one, that will be loaded in here. That means all that our book name will be changed. For the reasons here we have to pass that our index data, right? Index data will be get all that our 0 index, 1 index, and then 2 index. Individually all that our object data it should be take with this index. So now I also want to pass this index. Before, for the delete, I have already discussed about that things with you. So with this we can actually access it individually, right? Now I want to pass that event for the individually. For the reasons here I make it as an index. Great. So now we have to work in our method as a change input method. So that is our change input method, right? So into this change input method, before I pass only that event, so now also we have to pass our index, right? Because here I have also added that index. So after that, so that is our change input, and that is our event. So if you want to pass that multiple parameter, we can pass it with the first bracket, and that is our event, and also want to pass that as an index, right? I hope it's very much clear to you. So right now, before I pass it, you can see like that way, I simply pass some of the object data. So now I want to make it as a dynamic. For the reasons that is our book, I simply remove everything from here, and also I want to remove it. Okay, I make it as a clean. Great. So it's started from here, it's ended. Great. So now first of all I want to take all that our object data. So I take one of the variable as a constant variable. I just name it as a book. Okay, I simply name it as a book, and then I want to access our all that states books. Okay, that means states books individual all the data I want to take, right? Individual which data, individual 1 ID data, 2 ID data, 3 ID, one by one I want to get everything. So that is our index. So if you want to take it, you can take it with the spread operator. I hope you already remembered that things with you. So that is our spread, and then with this I want to access. That means that will be a one by one, it will be get all the data, right? So that will be this and then state. So this is state, and with this state that will be our property name as a books property, and into this books property I want to pass that individual all that our index data, right? So here I simply pass it, and then I want to change our which things. I want to change our this book name, right? So if you want to now access this book name, right now I have to already take all the data, take the things with this book. So now with this book I want to access our property name as a book name. So into this book area here I want to get that value, right? I want to get that which things will be typed into the input field area. I want to get this value. So if you want to get this value, before I have already discussed about that things with you, everything in our event, right, into the event targeted value. So you have to make it as an event, and then the target, okay, that will be the target and targeted value. So I simply take that our event targeted value. Okay, so that means that will be one of the input field. Whatever the things will be typed, it will be get it, and it will be changed in here, right? So for the reasons I simply take that our targeted value. So that is our targeted value, and now I want to take this. Okay, I want to take this with one of the variable, then that will be better. With the constant I name it as a books. Okay, so this type one of the variable. So here I want to pass that one by one all the data. So here I want to use one of the spread operator. So there is a 3 dot, and then these states, and then the books, right? So that is a property name as a books property. Great. So after that I want in our index here it should be changed, right? Here into the index, that means in our books. So that is our books, into this books area in our indexing, that means one by one it should be change it. So that is our indexing all the data. Here it should be changed our whatever the things will be changed. I take the things with this variable, it will be replaced. So it will be replaced in here. So if you want to replace it with here, also you have to change it with the set states method. So for the reasons here I make it as a this, and then the set states method, and into the set states method area here I want to I take everything in our books. So these books will be replaced with our all data in here, right? So that is our another states property value. So that is a books. So that is actually our all that our whatever the things value will be changed in here. I take the things with this book. So now this books is this one, and that is our state one. Okay, that means this one as our state. So you can see it will be successfully changed it in here. So friend, that's all you have to do. Okay, so now automatically that should be changed our targeted value. It should be it should be changed our book name individually, like I show you. If you now click as a save all, and now if you go to our site, and if you now refresh it, yes, you can see it's now successfully get all that our values. So now everything will be more clear. I get all that our targeted value. You can see I get this targeted value, and here I pass the targeted value in our indexing with this book. So for the reasons you can see it's now successfully get that all that our value. So now if you want to change it, like here I make it as A, you can see it's now changing that A, and better I refresh it. And now I want to add another one as a B. Okay, I make it as a B. You can see it's updated. Yeah, if you want to make it as a C, so you can see it's updated individually. So individually it's now successfully updated. Okay, so how can do that work? How can execute some of the functionality? I hope friend it's very much clear to you. So as I told you, so it may take little hard, but you have to practice. When you actually practice it, then every concept will be very clear to you. Okay friend, then you can actually understand how all that functionality work, how can actually pass some of the method, all that on chains, how to deal with the on click, how can load some of the state value, how can set some of the value. Here you have to actually practice it. It's not just you just watching this video and you will understand. It's not like that. You have to watch this video and at a time you have to write a code. So when you write a code, ask yourself how that exactly executed. So that is the process to learn any new programming language, friend. I hope you like it. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.